Hello, everybody, and welcome back. After a long, long time, it feels like. Welcome back to On Defense, the only sports podcast that you were allowed to listen to again. I'm sorry that we were gone.
3 weeks.
So you might have listened to other podcasts, and that's okay. Yeah, we totally understand. But now it's back to one type of podcast lifestyle for you, and that's us. I am Scooter Van Gogh, and here as always, the guy who's the fan of the only undefeated team in the NFL, Roman Rubio.
Man, imagine if the Cavs and Celtics were switched right now, and I had an undefeated NBA team, an undefeated NFL team. That'd be crazy. But I mean, yeah, it's been a long time. I missed you, Scooter.
Yeah.
Even though I've seen you since
we've seen and talked.
Yeah, we've seen and talked. We'll talk about that later.
But right now is the time that.
Right now is the time, and we got a banger show. We're going to talk about all the NFL we missed. We're going to talk about all the NBA we missed because it started while we were gone, and has it been a fun ride. Talk about my favorite topic, Bronny.
I love Bronny talks.
Talk about the Chiefs talk. We'll talk about what we've been doing for the last 3 weeks, all the fun that we've had. But, we were gone during a very important time for Americans. Every 4 years is a very serious time where Jerry Jones decides if he's going to fire his coach or keep him for another 4 years. So that came and went. We won't know exactly what Jerry decided on until after the season's over. But, yeah, looking forward to that because, every American's affected by this decision.
Yeah, every American's going to definitely hear about what the Dallas Cowboys do, unfortunately. A team that has the same record as the Carolina Panthers, I do believe, right? 3-7.
I think. Well,
3-7.
One of you hasn't had your bye, I think. So I think the one extra loss.
I
think you have one extra loss.
Our bye is this week.
Yeah,
and then we play you guys.
Hey,
and we're on a roll right now.
Yeah,
2 in a row.
Patrick Mahomes does not want to see Bryce Young right now.
2 in a row, and our defense is playing better. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be great, nor do I think we will stop the Kansas City Chiefs at all. Yeah. I think what we really need to hope for is that our run game continues to go because my main man Chuba, he earned himself a contract, 4 years for $33 million. Honestly, I like it.
Yeah,
I like Chuba. I'm glad he's still going to be there, and he's been running the show for us. We're letting Bryce. I think we've let Bryce throw down the middle before. He just didn't read it, but it seems like Bryce is starting to read plays a little bit better since this time of sitting out. Yeah. So,
what we missed, our last week was that week you guys got demolished by the Commanders. And then Andy Dalton got that accident, and then Bryce Young got the start the following week when you guys lost to the Broncos.
Yeah.
So when we can kind of just go week by week for the Panthers and kind of tell us your thoughts. This one, you lost to the Broncos 28-14. Bryce Young had 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
2 TDs. Threw it 37 times, so that's something. Getting a lot of passes out at least.
Well, the thing was
like the ball's getting out of his hands at least.
Well, the thing that you got to realize, Roman, is he got a touchdown on our first drive, which we got
good. I remember you said something about
we got a really short field because of a turnover, and it was like a slant to Xavier Legette touchdown, and then Bryce did not score or even get close to scoring
for the rest of the game
until our last drive in garbage time.
Because I remember you said something like Bryce Young, wow, impressive, and then like a minute or two later, like never mind, he's still ass.
Yeah.
There's
just times that he would have clear open receivers, or he still panics a little bit. But he's definitely better than what he was before. There's times that our offense can actually run like a real NFL offense and not just be a quick screen or something like that. So I'm happy to see that he's getting better. We are 10th now in the draft order, so we're not even close to the number 1 pick anymore.
Wow.
Which I like.
Shout out Bryce Young.
Because I think that makes it where we fall more in line of, instead of trying to do a panic pick for a quarterback, we probably will just pick the best player available, which I think in the long term for us right now is the best choice because Arch Manning is not in this draft class. He's in the next one. So we want to be bad next year.
Bronny James of the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, except he earned it. He's going to earn it. You'll see.
How?
Well, I think he's played more minutes than Bronny.
Oh, yeah. He's in college. Bronny's in the NBA.
He scored touchdowns, which I think...
against terrible teams.
He still scored touchdowns. But yeah, I just like how they're playing, and then
then week 9 was your matchup against the Saints. nail biter esque 23-22. First win for Bryce Young this year.
Yep.
Ties
The
Andy
field goal,
Dalton
right?
for most.
It was a did we win off a field goal at the end, or wait, what happened?
I think
Or
it
did
was
we
the
stop
Saints.
them?
Yeah, it was the Saints like turnover or something. I didn't watch the game. I'm not a fan of the Panthers.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't,
Too long ago.
I don't remember how.
But the Saints are in turmoil. I mean, you have a better record than the Saints right now.
Yeah.
So.
We got their coach fired.
2-0.
We got then I did watch the German game, the Germany game.
Oh yeah,
I did watch
that. Was this last week?
Yeah, that was the one I remember
Against
more
the
vividly.
Giants.
You know, we now made it where Danny Dimes is no longer your starting NFL quarterback. Dude, we're just like death
I said something in the group chat was, you lose to the Panthers, you get fired as a head coach. You win against the Chiefs, and you extend your coaching career probably longer than it has to be. And that's talking about Antonio Pierce for the Raiders, who got a job after beating the Chiefs last year in Christmas, and the Chiefs haven't lost since, including one to the Raiders.
Yeah, but the Raiders, unfortunately, they're not in a great place either as a franchise. I mean, because Josh Jacobs is no longer there.
He left. Yeah, he left a couple years.
He went to Green Bay,
He left
right?
a couple years ago, yeah.
And then Devontae Adams is now gone. You don't really have a quarterback.
That's their fault.
So, I mean,
But yeah.
what can you do?
Get a better quarterback. I mean, draft one.
That's
sign a better
harder
one.
than you think, Roman.
I mean, I know. Trust me. I had years. Actually, we didn't really draft quarterbacks very often. We'd usually sign them or get them from the Patriots.
Yeah, but you drafted one. You drafted one of the best.
But
I hate to say it, but I mean, he's not Brady. like
agreed. We can agree to disagree
like
on that.
Brady. Not saying that he can't be Brady, because I mean he definitely can be. It's just, man, this is gonna be tough to win all those championships.
He didn't have to win all the championships.
He's got to get close.
He's got to get close. They win a three-peat this year. First three-peat in NFL history.
That's very good, but like
first three-peat in NFL history.
But I think Patrick Mahomes. So I don't want to, because Patrick Mahomes is very important to the Kansas City Chiefs' success. But I think you guys have relied on a lot more other than Patrick Mahomes this year.
Yeah.
Like your defense has stepped up a lot. Your special teams has stepped up a lot.
You want to know?
Like,
you want to know who has the highest QBR in the fourth quarter?
Probably Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. It matters, when the game gets to you got to win the game, he plays great. Yes, the defense
is keeping him, but
yes,
but if he's always just waiting for the fourth quarter and the defense lets the game get out of it, then you know what I'm saying. Like, I think you guys' team overall is just
so balanced.
It's just very that's what I'm saying.
But also, it's how Patrick Mahomes still succeeding with wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, running back 1, tight end 1 for the first 4 games was basically non-existent, and we still haven't lost a game yet. Like that in itself is like, a lot of the struggles seem to be.
I think your run games helped out a lot.
Our run games helped out a lot as well, but Patrick Mahomes making mistakes, yes, but then as the game proceeds, like he's one of the best at, as the game continues to go on, he learns more and more and he plays better and better. Like he doesn't make very many mistakes in the fourth quarter. The last fourth quarter mistake that he made was actually in overtime against the Bengals in 2021 AFC Championship game. That's the last time when it wasn't even his fault. He made a good throw to Tyreek, it bounced off his hands and was intercepted. But Patrick Mahomes doesn't make mistakes when the game is in the balance, at least for the last 2 years, pretty much all the time. It's with last year, we probably don't win the Super Bowl, or maybe we come up short, still maybe in the Super Bowl, but it's hard. I want to give all the credit to the defense, because our defense has been awesome I forget the streak, but we haven't allowed over 25 points or 28 points or something since the Eagles Super Bowl, and that's just defense being defense. But we have the closest margin of victory this year. We've barely won any games, but that's one credit to our offense and also credit to our defense.
But just like the highest point total y'all have had this year is 30 points against the Bucs.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's not the typical Patrick Mahomes ran.
The typical Patrick Mahomes that
Chiefs.
You're expecting for averaging over 30 points a game or averaging 26. That was dead when people started dropping 2 safeties back on us every game, which was the year after we won the first Super Bowl. That's just unfortunately dead because of how defenses play us now. We can get occasionally some big plays with Xavier Worthy now, but people need to get over that version of Patrick Mahomes.
He's kind of disappeared, though, hasn't he?
He hasn't
after that first game,
but
I feel like
he's had some struggles. Like he's had some drops. He's had some, a clear touchdown or clear at least like out at the 1 yard line that he stepped out of bounds where he could have easily tiptoed in. But then also a little bit, Patrick Mahomes has even come out and said like he's missed Xavier Worthy on some deep balls, and Xavier Worthy's messed up on some deep balls. So it's rookie year. Not everyone. Tyreek Hill wasn't Tyreek Hill year one. Like it takes time. Speedsters need some more time to develop all the other aspects of their game. One thing that we do against our opponents that a lot of other teams, when they face us, don't do is settle for field goals. We are so okay with settling for a field goal. We could be at the 3 yard line, and we're going to kick a field goal if it's 4th down because we take the points because we trust our defense. Other teams freak out when they're facing us, and they're at the goal line.
Yeah,
it's 4th and goal.
You're Patrick Mahomes. And
I know it's Patrick Mahomes. They scare him.
Andy Reid.
Now everyone's saying like Patrick Mahomes ain't Patrick Mahomes, but he sure makes people play like he's Patrick Mahomes. Like,
I am not trying to say Patrick Mahomes is not Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying
he's not. He's not what he was when he won his last, or not his last MVP, but 2 MVPs ago.
Yeah, like he is not. I mean, how many touchdowns does he have this year so far?
We don't go for passing touchdowns. I
get that, but 12 touchdowns to 9 interceptions for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
His MVP year, how many touchdowns did he have?
His first MVP year, he had 50 touchdowns.
And how many interceptions?
I don't know, maybe 8.
It's
8 or 9.
It's probably this one here. 2022, was that his first?
No, that was his second MVP.
Oh, no, here you go. 50 and 12 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Like he's already at 9. Like
I know, but everyone makes these excuses for their quarterbacks, but there are at least 4 of those interceptions that aren't Patrick Mahomes. There are people catching the ball or tipping the ball, just doing things or running the wrong routes. I know the interception still shows on Patrick Mahomes, and that's an excuse every single team has for their quarterbacks that, hey, all the interceptions aren't his fault, but we just play a different style now that other people that don't watch the games you're not going to see. You're like we get to the goal line, we're not looking to do those little short passes that give Patrick Mahomes a passing touchdown. We're looking to just run it in, like nail it, and like hit you in the head all the way in. But
yeah, I mean he's just on track to, and again I understand that you guys are doing a different type of offense and stuff right now, and things are just kind of being ran differently. But he's on track to have one of the least amount of touchdown years.
Yeah, he's
and
probably
also having the most interceptions.
He's picked it up. He hasn't thrown an interception in 2 weeks now.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's just how defenses are playing us. It's a learning. When you lose your top 2 receivers, you got to create chemistry elsewhere, and we're slowly building chemistry with the other people that we have. We're running the ball a lot more. Kareem Hunt's just fucking running it all the freaking time, but he's a beast. Isaiah Pacheco, we're getting back this week. We're getting back Juju this week. Our offense is only getting better. We're going to get Hollywood Brown hopefully near the end of the season, maybe start the playoffs.
Are they saying he's actually going to play?
They're saying more than likely we'd have him start a playoffs. I don't know how much he would be involved in the playoffs because, man, that's a lot.
Just need a fast guy. Just need a guy who's fast.
But it'd be interesting. But this has been a very enjoyable year just because by both sides of the ball for the Chiefs. And yeah, I mean, people. I know right before this podcast started, you won't believe this other Chiefs fan listening to this, but Skylar said we got lucky because we blocked a field goal.
Luck.
We got lucky.
Y'all getting lucky.
I don't understand.
And the luck will run up.
We're lucky because we watched.
Just for one game. Your luck's going to run up for one game.
Fine.
And then all the skill will come back. But right now you're running on luck.
I'm going for the 3.
Right now you're running on luck. And if you want that luck to go away and it be based off skill, you want to lose before the playoffs. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
What if? All right. So Patrick Mahomes not the GOAT even if he wins a 3-peat. Undefeated season for the 3-peat. Is he the GOAT?
I mean, that's definitely.
Come on.
Like so.
Two things that haven't been done.
So my problem is if it was y'all went 17-0 while he had the 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. It to the people that you're asking if it matters.
All right.
Yeah, like if he's like. If it was y'all became undefeated because Patrick Mahomes was solely leading the team, which that's not what's happened this year.
But also without him, we probably would be like 4 and 5.
Probably, but y'all aren't. Well, I don't know. Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid's a smarter coach than.
Depends on the quarterback. If we had Carson Wentz as our quarterback, we'd be 4 and 5. Because Carson Wentz is our backup quarterback.
Yeah. Well, Andy didn't Andy draft him in Philly? Was Andy the one who drafted him in Philly, or did he get drafted
I don't
after?
think so. No, I'm pretty sure it was Doug Peterson that was his
Maybe.
coach.
Yeah, it
But
might have been.
That actually brings me to a point that I want to talk about this week. It's a perfect segue. This is a controversy that a lot of people talk about. Are wins a quarterback stat? Can you? Because, I mean, prime example of like QBs that have won that maybe not like put up these mind-bending numbers. Jimmy Garoppolo. Brock Purdy sometimes.
So I think it is at a point when you have a good team around you. But like at the same time, I don't think anybody holds Matt Stafford's time in Detroit against him, because we all saw what he was doing and we all understood like, oh, you're a really good quarterback. You're just kind of stuck on a shit franchise. So I think it depends. Like, and even though they're all going to be counted the same, like I think the wins are remembered differently depending on the quarterback. If you have a really, really great team around you and the quarterback makes some decisions or just can't have the offense move or whatever, people are going to blame the quarterback. It'll be a win-loss record for that quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, where if the quarterback's on a shitty team, those wins and losses aren't held. You know what I'm saying? Like, the losses at least.
The losses, but our wins. Fuck losses. Sorry, excuse my language. Our wins, a quarterback. No one cares about the losses. If your team gets the win week after week, not saying it's all the quarterback, but is that a quarterback stat? Does that mean you have a good quarterback?
Probably. I mean, if you're getting wins after wins after wins, that means the
quarterback's doing something. Your quarterback's not losing the game.
Yeah, your quarterback's not. Clearly he's not throwing too many interceptions, or you know, maybe he doesn't get a lot of touchdowns, but when you need him on a 3rd and 5, he knows how to hit his slant route. You know, like
I think people a lot of times when it comes to like when the question is are wins a QB stat, people also construed that was, did your QB play well to win the game? And well can mean many different things. A, were you not having a good game, so you handed it off 35 times and your running back was balling out, so you threw like that. Remember that, was it the divisional round or an NFC Championship game where Jimmy threw like 8 passes and they won the game? Is that not in a way like Jimmy not winning the game, like willing them to victory, but Jimmy did just enough to get them the win? He didn't put himself in harm's way. He didn't throw bad passes.
And the other thing you can think is, how many times did Jimmy go up to the line with a pass play being called and audible out because he read? You know what I'm saying? Like,
see a lot, yeah.
So if a quarterback is also making just smart decisions, which might take the ball out of his hands, but if it's making smart decisions, I mean, that's also a good quarterback too, you know?
Because I think there's a lot, not a lot of, but there's the Broncos have been a team for the last couple of years at least that have had a pretty good defense, but have had a hard time finding a quarterback that they trust, so they don't get
Which is crazy because of how Russell Wilson's playing right now. You had a quarterback, right?
I just don't think whatever the chemistry, Sean Payton, him, the dynamic and confusion that was going on in Denver, I don't know. It's like also a situation for the quarterback a lot. Like, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think losses necessarily are always on the quarterback, but if your quarterback throws like 4 interceptions and you lose the game, you could probably say, probably the quarterback's fault. But not every loss. Like Joe Burrow, for example, this year, balling out, easily could be considered MVP if his team just won games. Yeah. But also sometimes, I said this one of the last 2 podcasts that we did was Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes are kind of playing like opposite. Joe Burrow's like completely balling out the whole game, but then near the end of the game, he's throwing some games away. Bad decisions, interceptions, fumbles, not being able to convert when you need to convert. And Patrick Mahomes playing dog shit for 3 quarters, and then 4th quarter, it's like, what's up, guys? I'm still him.
You also have the defense to help him stay in those games.
And why do we have the defense, Joe Burrow? Because we pay. Not Joe Burrow. I shouldn't throw Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
The Bengals organization, because we paid our defense. We paid important players on our defense to stay. They decided not to pay them and decided to pay their offensive players. And now you see the rumors T. Higgins is going to freaking walk for nothing. You could have paid Jesse Bates 2 years ago and let T. Higgins walk now. And
Jesse Bates is playing good for Atlanta.
He's good.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah,
I hate Jesse Bates.
I hate playing against him twice a year.
I hated Jesse Bates for the Bengals. He was such a good player. And there was they have a Hendricks on like the outside for them.
Or Trey.
Yeah, Trey Hendricks. Good player. Hopefully they fucking pay him because they let plenty of good defenders walk over the last couple of years because they went offense. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon even.
But at the same time, you're trying. Well, to be fair, T. Higgins and Chase, they were draft picks. Like you're saying they were smart draft picks, the best players probably to pick at the time.
Yeah.
And they've both been really good.
Yeah.
So
you should have
but
either
you should have traded them.
You should have either traded them or fucking decided way long ago you weren't going to pay them and paid somebody else instead of letting them walk. But that's neither here nor there. Any MVP you think Lamar Jackson's got it right now?
Yeah, well, it's either Lamar Jackson or the only other person that I could see taking it from him, Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Jared
Even
Goff.
that 4 interception game he had the other night.
Did he have 4 interceptions?
It was something like.
And
there was a stat.
There won.
There was a stat that everyone got fooled that he was like 6-0 in games. He throws 4 interceptions. He's 1-1. But yeah, he threw like 4 interceptions the last game. But they made a comeback and won.
Yeah, and then that was again thanks to a great defense, dude. Their defense is amazing.
Their defense is great,
and they don't even have their best player. His poor leg got shattered. Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
For some reason, you said
shattered.
best player, and I thought Amon St. Brown. I was like, he's injured?
No.
No, okay. I got you.
Well, is he the best player on their offense?
Yeah. I don't.
Better than
Jahmyr Gibbs? I guess that's fair. I don't know. I just thought, like, I guess that was the first person to pop in my head. Maybe he's not the best player, but yeah, last game he had like 4 interceptions. But here's
I was on a boat. I didn't get to.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it.
Do you think? And
5 interceptions.
5 interceptions. And I
still
personally,
won.
this is like my main gripe with the NFL, and it's starting to become a main gripe with the NBA. Because, or at least with the NBA, it's like it seems like a lot of not stat padding, but you get a shit ton of stats. So you get a bunch of points, a bunch of rebounds, kind of, and then like, and you're like top of the MVP because like you got 2 stats in the double digits. So like Jokic, Embiid, Giannis. Like the last 5-6 years have dominated that because they get a shit ton of points and a shit ton of rebounds, and it's hard to be like, hey, this guy that's averaging 2 less points but way less rebounds, but is like a more efficient player than them isn't even going to be considered for MVP because of that. But the NFL main gripe, it's always a quarterback stat. MVP is always quarterback stat, but
and then offensive player usually goes to
but like Derrick Henry, I mean. If we want to like really break down most valuable player, what Derrick Henry is doing for Lamar Jackson is making him the most valuable player. Like he's just creating so much. Like it seems like like Lamar Jackson, like throwing wise, just is more of a threat because obviously you got to load the box. Like we talked about the first week, we didn't understand why Derrick Henry didn't get the ball more because it was like make the Chiefs load the box to try and stop him and then create a play action or a different type of a look that gives somebody else open. But Lamar Jackson's throwing the ball great, and I feel like it's not a coincidence that Derrick Henry is now with the team and just creating so much focus. Yeah. Even like the combination of Derrick Henry and Lamar's threat to run both of them is allowing Lamar to be able to have more open throws and better throws and like better coverage looks that can allow him to. Oh, sorry, I got a text him.
Yeah,
so sorry, but yeah, like I'm just like if we really want to break down most valuable player,
I mean, he has 12. He has 12 touchdowns, 12 rushing touchdowns. This doesn't even have the receiving stuff. He's averaging over 100 yards a game. Interesting stat here. One, my boy Chuba Hubbard, number 3 in the league, and he has just as many rushing touchdowns as Saquon Barkley. I thought Saquon had a lot more rushing.
What's the yards different? Well, you got to think Jalen Hurts at the goal line. Do they push stuff?
So
Saquon gets fucked.
Saquon has rushed 171 times for 991 yards. Chuba's rushed for 161 times for 818 yards. Okay. Both have 6 touchdowns. Chuba does only average 81 yards a game, where Saquon averages 110 yards a game.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Sometimes Jalen Hurts takes those rushing touchdowns from Saquon, which sucks for a fantasy owner of Saquon. Especially when he's like your best player on the freaking team.
Yeah.
But yeah, the MVP right now probably Lamar Jackson. In my opinion, I think Derrick Henry. Like last year where we had the Christian McCaffrey talk, where like he should be in the conversation at least, and Tyreek Hill even sometimes.
So the only other person I can see this would have to take a big swing, is if somehow the Ravens lose a game or two, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals go off for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they got to go off. They got to win the division.
He has 24 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So he's right up there with him, and he has more yards, but only by 3. But he's also passed the ball 50 more times than Lamar.
And he only has 3 more yards.
Yeah, he has
Passing yards.
Yeah,
that just shows. I mean, that just shows.
Yeah, Joe Burrow
Derrick
has
Henry's impact.
2,672, and Lamar Jackson has 2,669.
If anything, I think that hurts Joe Burrow. He's thrown 50 more times and has 3 more yards. That's crazy.
Yeah, his yards per thing is 7.5, and yards per completion for Lamar is 9.3.
That's crazy.
He's almost averaging a first down every time he throws the ball.
Yeah, that's the Ravens are crazy. The only thing that's holding them back is their defense, and which is crazy because like throughout the last 5 years, 6 years that Patrick Mahomes has been controlling the AFC, it was always like this team has this high-powered offense versus all the other teams he's got to face have like these high-powered defense. And now this year it's kind of reversed. Like the Chiefs have the high-powered defense, and everyone else kind of has these explosive offense. The Bills, the Bengals, who we probably won't see in the playoffs. That's my hot take. And the Ravens. Surprise team. We still got the Commanders. They're at 7-3 or something like that.
Yep, I think they just dropped to 7-3 because they lost to the 7-2 Pittsburgh Steelers, who I think is also a big
They're
surprise.
also a surprise. They're winning the division, right? I'm pretty sure the Steelers are winning the division.
Yeah, they're because Baltimore, and they played this week. Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
That's a good game.
Baltimore 7-3.
Yeah, dude. The Steelers are definitely a sleeper team in the playoffs, and definitely winning the division would be crazy. It's so crazy that Lamar's having this season right now, but the Steelers are playing so good they're winning the division. But we've talked a lot of NFL. Anything else NFL wise you want to talk about?
Just the Panthers are no longer on the bottom down here.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're down here. There's 5 teams that are crappier than the Panthers.
And 2 of them have quarterbacks signed a huge contract.
Yep.
The Cleveland Browns, too, if you want to count them as well.
Wait,
I was talking about the Jags, Giants, and Browns, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
But crazy. Yeah, I was so wrong about Trevor Lawrence. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry, fans out there. I let you down. Anyone that tried to back me up and say Roman knows what he's talking about, I'm so sorry I let you down.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was going to be better, too. I thought he was going to be better, and he isn't, right? He's not doing good.
I think he's – I don't know.
I haven't looked at
it.
Stats
Seems like
recently.
the whole team is just in shambles.
I mean, he's okay. So, I mean, he's got 2,000 yards. He's throwing 61%, but he's 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So it's not like he's out there
Playing absolutely god awful.
Yeah.
Their team in general, they don't have real receiving weapons. They don't
ETN's not really doing very well.
ETN hasn't had that great of a year. Their defense is I mean, they're just.
Hey, Brian Thomas Jr. though, their rookie wide receivers, he's got 5 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, there'll be hopefully a good connection for years to come. We'll see. I don't know that there could be some big changes in Jacksonville after this year. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, Doug Peterson's definitely going to get fired. He's gone.
Hey man,
I think they'll give Trevor one more coach. They'll give him one more coach to try it, and then it's over.
Yeah. That's the NFL for you. Before we move on to the NBA, I want to introduce a new segment here. I don't even know what if that's going to come out of my mouth, but I'm just going to make it up before it comes out. But new segment that we're going to try to do maybe once a week, maybe every couple of weeks. We'll see what topics we decide on.
If I remember it.
Yeah, it's going to be What If, where we kind of just do different conspiracy theories of what if scenarios in the NFL, NBA, or maybe
what if
sports.
the Panthers drafted Patrick Mahomes?
Oh God,
maybe
we'll do that. Fuck it, we can. I don't know.
Would
you guys have a chance to that year? You
I
guys
don't
in
know.
the top 10
Yeah, I think so.
that year? I mean, yeah.
What year?
Wait, that was 20
CMC year. CMC year.
2017.
I think that CMC and him got drafted the same year, didn't they?
No,
I think so.
no.
I believe so.
I'm not good with draft years in the
I
NFL.
believe so.
But we're gonna try to do this once a week or at least so often, where we just give you some of our what if takes and go through a different dimension and see what happened in that. My first what if Steph Curry didn't revolutionize 3-point shooting? Was it inevitable that somebody else would have revolutionized like him? Would it have just been where Mike D'Antoni created this 7-second offense and teams just ran with it over time, and it never really got to the level that Steph Curry took it to, where teams are shooting 63s a game? What do you feel?
I think analytics still would have been created, and then somebody eventually would have been like, "Oh, hey,
Let me shoot all these threes." Do you think anybody
if we're shooting 40% from a deep 2 and we're shooting 39% from a 3,
Yeah.
let's just take the chance that we're going to hit the 3 and get an extra point. Like, I think that's...
Who do you... Let's dig even deeper. Steph Curry doesn't revolutionize shooting. Who does? Who revolutionized shooting like Steph Curry? Steph Curry-esque. Who's that guy? Who's that person? Or girl?
Yeah, we could have drafted Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, you could have? Okay.
Yeah,
we'll talk about
with
maybe
8th
next
pick.
week. Next week, what if?
But... Oh, hold on.
Pod.
All right, and we're back.
While we were away, we're going to come back to this what if scenario. But I got some breaking news. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker expected to be out 3 to 4 weeks.
I told you your luck's over.
That could be easily what gets us out of this undefeated defeat.
All those easy field goals you were just talking about
I
ain't
know.
gonna be so easy
they might
anymore.
not be so easy.
When you got Joey Sly or whoever the hell you signed.
Our new kicker, his college stats were not good.
What's his name?
His name is Spencer Schrader.
Ooh.
Schrader.
Spencer Schrader.
He is this year, though.
He's
for
gonna
preseason and regular
charade
season
your record.
combined, 4 for 4 on field goal attempts, including a 56-yarder and 7 for 7 on PATs. So hopefully a decent replacement that gets us to Harrison Butker being healthy, because that's scary. But yeah, we'll see what happens in Buffalo this weekend. That's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be a
cold.
good game. Yeah.
Cold in Buffalo.
But back to the what if scenario. You said you believe somebody else would have revolutionized it. Who's that person?
Oh, I have no idea. But
Who
some
is it?
guy in the analytics team. I don't know.
No.
the analytics-
Who's the shooter? Who's the shooter that revolutionized like Steph Curry does?
Who would be the guy that would?
Who would be the guy? I feel like an easy cop out answer is Trae Young.
or Clay?
You think that's also a deep what if? So Steph Curry. Well, let's say Steph Curry existed, but these ankle/knee injuries that he had got
Slowed
the
him
best
down.
of him, and he never was the person he was supposed to be. Not even close. Not even an all
He
star.
couldn't. He couldn't do his little. He couldn't do his little Trey thing.
Yeah,
not Trey thing.
his
It's
behind the back.
Yeah, Chef Curry thing.
Does Klay Thompson and Draymond Green? They're still in the Warriors. They still got drafted by the Warriors in this version. Are they still? Is Klay Thompson just Kyle Korver?
No, because I will also say no to that because the only reason why I think Clay was open so much at times in his career was because we all knew who the real threat was, and it was number 30.
Yeah.
So I think even though Clay is one of the greatest shooters of all time, I'll put him up there. It benefits him that he was on the team with the greatest shooter of all time.
I feel like he has more of a toned down career, like a Kyle Korver, JJ Redick-esque career. I think he still becomes a good 3-point shooter, probably even elite, maybe top 10 all time, maybe. Just because of the volume. If the volume still goes up to what it is, he'll be shooting a lot. I do think, as much as I believe Draymond Green is a student of the game, has a very high IQ, and is very smart at the game of basketball, I think Steph Curry and Klay Thompson made his life much easier. I think we're seeing that over the last 5 or so years. He's not a very good scorer.
No.
He's a very good passer. In this system, if Steve Kerr is still the coach, I think Draymond still has a good career, but obviously not a 4-time champion. The Warriors maybe, and I mean maybe, win a championship. Maybe.
without
And that's
Steph,
if, let's say, Steph Curry's still on the team. He never becomes an all-star, but he has a breakout playoff
maybe.
time at some points, and they're
without
wow.
Steph, I don't think.
I know.
anywhere near
Tough
it.
to say. I'm just saying. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They won 4. I'm saying maybe they get one. Maybe. But Draymond, I feel like has a completely different career. He's probably. I wanna kind of say maybe a better version of Kyle Anderson, like a dude that just kind of bounces around the league, really good role player, kind of just meshes well with every team, but he doesn't have a good outside game. He's got good handles. He's got good IQ to pass the ball. He's maybe like a Ben Simmons that's not afraid to take a shot at the basket. What are you looking up?
Just seeing. Just looking at some top rankings of 3-point shooters,
Of all time?
Yeah, just to see if there's anybody else that might be like, oh, this guy might have done it. Oh, Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard could have been. I mean, honestly,
James Harden.
James Harden. Yeah, I probably lean more than
He's
Damian Lillard.
third in the NBA ever in 3-point made. So, if not,
he's going to take over 2 here soon. He's 10 away or something
he's
like that.
3 away now from
Oh, yeah.
Reggie, or not Reggie, from Ray Allen. He's at 2,970 right now.
I think okay, maybe yeah. So in a different way than Steph did. Steph, all these deep threes and crazy ass threes like off catch and shoot. I think James Harden may have revolutionized it in a different way with all the dribbling that he did and step backs and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe would have like the game could look a lot different with a lot more ISO ball now instead of a lot more.
Well, and I think it's still the product of like MJ, like back in the day. What would he do? He'd get the ball, he'd dribble a bunch, he'd get in the mid range, he'd take a jab, or he would take a fader and hit a pretty decent mid range shot.
Yeah.
And literally, it would just be James doing like the same thing, but going like, "Hey, I can literally do that from 2 feet further."
Yeah.
And now it counts for like I think that's what would have been. Hey, we can do this while also counting for 3 points.
I think Steph's so legendary. I don't think one person would have done it by themselves, but I think James Harden and Damian Lillard could have done it as a duo, and kind of like Damian Lillard kind of was the Steph-esque with like the really deep shots, deep game winners, 30, 35 footers, and then James Harden's that guy like right at the 3-point line, dribble, step back, shoot, foul, free throw, like basically kind of baiting a lot of 3 fouls. I don't know. The game could have looked a lot different right now without Steph, and we'll kind of slowly shift away from the what if, but there's been talks. NBA viewership is down. Ratings are down.
Yeah.
People say the game is boring now.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think the game's boring?
At times it can be
Why?
Because I think there's a lot of cool moves and stuff like that used to be done in the mid range that people don't even attempt anymore. And it's kind of like either they're going to shoot a 3, or if they're going to shoot a shot inside the paint, it's going to be a layup or an alley oop or some sort of dunk. They're going to try to make it. But my problem with the game really isn't the way that's being played. It's the players playing it. A lot of them, we're in the buddy era. Everybody's friend, so here's a recent thing that's happened. Giannis Antetokounmpo faked out Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't liking that Jaylen Brown took it so seriously and is now calling Giannis childish and shit like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like what Jaylen Brown's doing because he's not on my team. Fuck him. Plus, also, Giannis is the reason why we don't have a championship, right? Because y'all were really good one year and y'all lost to the Bucks. Did that ever happen? No.
Well, the last year of Kyrie,
Yeah.
when shit really just we weren't finding a groove in the regular season, but we were still good enough to win games. Kyrie said something about, I still don't see anybody beating us in 7, and they ended up beating us. We beat them game 1 of the second round, and they beat us 4 straight. I wouldn't say they beat us a year that we were going to win.
Okay, but still.
We've actually beat them every year since that.
I'm a guy who wants to see, like, not like I want them out there, like, always fighting and stuff like that, but
beef.
like.
You want people to hate each other.
Yeah, but I want people to, like, genuinely, because, like, what happens when you get people that don't like each other? You get rough. You get real play, and it's not like. So let's like, for instance, when me and you go out on like and play basketball, I actively say like I'm not trying to hurt I don't want to run into you and hurt you and like all that stuff. But if I don't like you, you know what I'm saying? Like I will try to run into you and hurt you. And I think that's something that certain sports have, like baseball. I know baseball is boring, but let a pitcher hit a batter with a ball,
and they remember that forever. Anytime,
fuck you, and I'm ready to charge. You know what I'm saying? Like hockey players. There are players that don't like each other that when they line up and they're like right when the whistle whistles, we're throwing the gloves. We can legally fight each other.
Yeah,
like, and I'm just like
Joe Mazzulla wants people to be able to fight.
And I don't think the fighting thing will be good because then that just promotes it all over the place, and you have a lot of good players out because of dumb things. Because like how like wouldn't it suck if Jason Tatum is out there dribbling and then some scrub from the Hawks comes up and just fucking decks you sacrifice a guy who doesn't matter to your team to go fuck up Jason Tatum.
That's fair. That's probably
what I'm saying.
That's
like
a good point. Why it probably doesn't happen in the NBA. You could just send some dude in randomly for a minute. And
hey, I know you're about to get a fine, but we're about to guarantee.
Get in there, beat some ass.
Yeah, but we're about to guarantee your contract for the next year. So get out there and kick him and
Bronny, become the greatest fighter in NBA history, not the greatest player like your dad.
Yeah, but like just like I don't know, the beef I think would make it more entertaining and like people not wanting to be friends and stuff like that. And that's what Giannis was kind of about. I think like a few years ago, Giannis was kind of talking about how he didn't want to practice with other players and stuff like that.
He said he doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, all for it. You know what I'm saying? Like let's have some beef.
I I disagree. I think there's plenty of beef in the NBA. Yeah, there's a lot of buddy, but I think there's plenty of beef. The Mavs and the Suns fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Anytime KD faces any of his old teams, Warriors, maybe not the Brooklyn Nets, but like OKC boos them all the time. Him and Russ, there's always some, not anymore. They kind of squashed the beef, but when that was around, that was freaking awesome. Now there's Steph and Clay, who I don't know if you saw, but like he like hit a three, like Steph did. It was like a dagger, and he like goes over there and he like screaming. He's like, stay here, like I'm here, stay here. This is mine. And then after the game, he was like going to Draymond, and he was like, stay here, man. That's what I'm talking about. Like just saying, stay here. Basically, shots at Clay for leaving. There's Giannis and there's Giannis and the Celtics. I want to say like they got some beef. Like now, him and Jaylen Brown definitely got beef. There is the Heat and the Celtics. There's the Heat and the Bucks that just hate each other because they face each other so many times in the playoffs. There's the Lakers and the Nuggets who hate each other because the Nuggets always get the best of the Lakers. There's Memphis and the Lakers. We didn't know that was beef, but now that that's beef
that is one. That's another one. Like I love one. So I love the fact that it's Ja versus LeBron.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if you saw, but after the game that they lost to the Grizzlies. And I know they recently just beat the Grizzlies, but that game after like the
they just lost to the Grizzlies again.
No, they beat the Grizzlies by like 2 the other night.
Oh, okay.
They did the too small stuff. The game where they were both too small on each other, too little on each other. LeBron like went home and went on Twitter and shared a picture of that, and people were like, "Bro, y'all lost tonight."
Ja did it to Ja fucking bopped LeBron when he didn't even score on LeBron.
Yeah,
he literally scored on Ja and went too little, and then Ja scored on his teammates. Yeah. And LeBron was just off to the side. And he just bumps him. He's like, "What? Like, why are you going after LeBron like that? He didn't even score on him."
Well, because he said he was too little.
Well, he is. He's 6'3", LeBron 6'8". He was speaking facts there.
Oh, hey, you know what?
I think there's plenty of beef. I don't think the game is boring. I think people are either just not watching the games and complaining the game is boring because they see the stat lines that shows a bunch of threes. I don't know if anybody watches the top tier, not even the top tier NBA teams, but like there is so much like high IQ open shots being taken. Like I'm going to use the Celtics for example because I watch a lot of their games, but like our offense creates so many open shots. You drive, people collapse, and you kick the ball for an open shot. It's not boring. It's high IQ basketball. If that's fucking boring to people, then go watch college where 6 people are sitting in the paint every possession like they did in the 80s. Because if you want to watch 80s, 90s basketball or worse, go watch college basketball. That's what it is. Like, it's evolving over time. It's getting better.
A little bit away from it now.
But like it's kind of creeping up to like the 2000s of like NBA basketball. But I don't think it's boring. I think it's, I don't know, like people, if anything needs to change, foul calls need to change. Foul baiting needs to be fixed. I feel like that's the biggest issue with the league right now is all the foul baiting. Like,
well, I don't like I don't like foul baiting, but like I hate when the foul baiting only works on one side. So
yes,
for instance, we were playing Atlanta one night and Trey was getting every call. Like,
yeah, it's an art to foul bait. I agree with the fact that it's an art to foul bait, but I get it with you.
LaMelo would be doing the same thing and getting fouled. I would say arguably harder. And then LaMelo's not even getting a call, but it's like, oh, we barely bumped Trae Young, and it's like
it's also crazy a lot of times that they go off of like, in a way, size. So like Trae Young being a smaller player and he like gets hit or something, they're like foul, but like LaMelo being 6'7", 6'8" gets the same foul, but it doesn't look as bad because he's 4 inches taller. Only person that doesn't apply to for whatever fucking reason is Joel Embiid because that man is just a king of freaking flopping.
Yeah,
like every other center. I'd love to see like the side-by-side comparisons of all the free throw attempts for all the centers in the league because I feel like that's another thing is a lot of centers don't get the same calls that Joel Embiid gets, and even sometimes that like Giannis gets. But Giannis is the one player in the league that I will defend when it comes to the amount of foul attempts that he takes because that man literally just puts his head down and drives to the rim. That's like his game, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. But like when you're in the paint and you go for a shot and you fall to the ground, like the amount of times this 7-footer Joel Embiid falls to the ground should be fined. Like you aren't falling to the ground that much throughout a game. And he was a Jayhawk. I love him. I root for him if he's not playing for the 76ers, but he's playing for the 76ers, and I hate the 76ers. But no, I mean, I think the foul baiting is the biggest issue in the league right now, but I don't think the game is boring. People that think the game is boring, and the reason, and also I want to say this, the reason the ratings are down is, one, the best players in the league are like LeBron, Steph, and KD. They're coming to an end.
Yeah.
And they're scrambling because as much as people love Anthony Edwards, right now he's not that guy that can take that attention away from them or be that big personality that LeBron, Steph, and KD are. Wemby's not there yet. I think Wemby has a chance.
Just dropped 50.
But he also, so there was just when LeBron entered the league, it was like him and Kobe and Dwayne Wade. Kobe had that I don't give a frick about anything personality. LeBron was I always say the right things personality. You had the Tim Duncan that just didn't say anything. And then as he moved on, there has to be multiple great players that can create attention, but then you also need different types of personalities. I feel eventually Anthony Edwards could be that Kobe that's just in everybody's face I hate you, I'm about to beat you up, I'm going to dominate you. Jason Tatum maybe the reserved guy that's going to just wants to play for a winning team and compete for championships all year, and he's not going to get too emotional, he's not going to get too high, not going to get too low, kind of like a Tim Duncan. And then maybe a Wemby, like a LeBron, the dude that's just a great dude all around and is also possibly one of the greatest players of all time. I think we can get there, but right now the NBA definitely is scrambling, trying to find out who's going to take this time away from
And
Steph.
then LaMelo, the six-time MVP.
The guy that's not media trained, says whatever the fuck he wants.
Hell yeah, dude. My man.
That could be
my man.
He needs some media training because he's just talking.
It's like Xavier Leggett.
He kind of is, yeah. But
we let him just talk down here.
But yeah, NBA. Some stuff I wanted to throw at you.
Well, while you're looking it up, I just want to say that I believe I predicted before we left that the Hornets were going to be about 4-7.
Yeah,
by
you
the
did.
time
I think you did.
That we came back, and
So let me check the tape.
I believe that they are 4-7 right now. So I just want to give myself a pat on the back.
Pat on the back.
And just say I'm right about stuff sometimes.
All right. I am going to give you 2 stats. And I want you to try and guess. One stat is a current player. The other stat is not a current player. I want you to try to guess who these stats are.
Okay.
This is the person that's not in the league.
Okay.
29.67 points per game.
Okay.
Who do you? I'm just going to give you points per game. I'm going to go points per game for each.
Okay, this is someone who's just not in the league.
Sorry, not in the league. A big man, multiple NBA champion.
So from any time ever.
We'll just go from 90s and.
That's what I'm saying, but this could be someone who's been retired for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Shaq.
Hey, there you go. Have you seen this graphic?
No, I haven't. But
I hope you haven't. And then 29.67 points per game. And this person currently in the NBA, 29.70 points per game. He's also a big man.
Jokic. Is it?
You've seen this.
No, I swear to God, I haven't. I swear to God.
Rebounds per game. A big man probably could be considered a power forward or a center, depending on when he played and who you want to talk to. 12.9 rebounds per game.
But he's not in the league right now.
He's not in the league right now, but it's 90s and up.
Man, 12.9.
12.9. Good.
Dennis Rodman.
No.
Damn it.
Definitely could have been a power forward or a center. Either or.
Yeah, that's why I went for old Dennis.
Definitely played power forward and center throughout his career. Mainly power forward at the beginning, mostly center. Kind of.
Amari Stoudemire?
No.
Damn it. I'll go one more guess here.
Yeah.
Power forward, center, mainly.
I mean, I'll say it again. Multiple time champion, if that helps. I feel like I kind of gave it away if I said another multiple time champion.
I mean, Tim Duncan?
There you go.
Okay.
And then current player, 13.7 rebounds per game. Who do you think that is?
Current player, 13.7 rebounds.
Also big man.
Jokic.
There you go.
I just
assist per game player not.
I'm guessing these are all going to be Jokic.
Yeah.
The player that's active is going to be Jokic.
Yeah. A player that's actually currently in the league, I guess, but has been in the league for a long time.
Yeah.
11.6 assists per game.
James Harden. Chris Paul.
There you go. And then 11.7 assists per game.
Jokic.
He has higher stats than all of those guys in those individual stats this year.
Yeah.
And those were like some of their best years.
Yeah. He's going off.
He's fucking insane.
Yeah.
He's literally, and I feel like I'm not exaggerating right now, he is when his career's done, he's like one of the top 10 best players that's ever played the game. I don't care how many championships.
The crazy thing is like
I don't care.
I feel like his peak happened so suddenly. I feel like
out of nowhere he was like the best player in the league.
Yeah, like
he was just a good center, a good passer. Even.
Yeah, the first year that he like blew up, because I know he was in the league for a few years before like he like became like Jokic.
But they were always like one thing they always talked about was he was like a great passer, and he just developed everything else to like a crazy degree, like out of fucking
because it was 10 points. I mean, honestly, he was good right from the get go. 10 points a game, and he played 80 games. And then 16, 18, 20, 19, 26, 27, 24, 26, 29 this year. And it's just like, it's crazy that, because he's been active for 10 years pretty much now?
Yeah.
Is his ninth season this year. Like, I don't know, that's crazy. And it's just like you said, I just remember like one year, it was like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He's the guy who plays for the Nuggets. And then it was like, oh yeah, this guy is one of the best players in the
Like 10 more years, no one's even gonna remember like that Carmelo Anthony was number 15 on the Nuggets. Like they're gonna reference 15 as Nikola Jokic already. Even
I don't think that So as
like
crazy as this is,
that's so shitty that he's not gonna get his number retired.
Who, Carmelo?
Yeah, the Nuggets. That's so crazy.
Unless they do a double 15.
I feel like that's just a massive slap in the face to Jokic.
I don't think so either.
Championship, 3-time MVP.
Yeah, but it's like, but Carmelo was really good for the Nuggets.
I don't think Jokic would care, but
he got stopped by Kobe.
Yeah.
I think there was a year that Carmelo was going off with the Nuggets. I think Chauncey Billups was playing with him that year, and I remember it was the Nuggets and the Lakers in the Western Finals.
It was either 2009 or 2008, 2009, 2010. One of the years that the Lakers went to the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
obviously.
and it was just Kobe, like, and I remember watching a game and Melo was going off, and then Kobe would just come back down the other side and do a Kobe thing, and it was like, sorry, Melo.
So like currently right now, I don't know who's like the favorites odds for MVP. I think Kevin Durant for a time was the leading MVP runner because he scored like 30 points in like 6 out of their like 9 games. But if I were to tell you this guy leads the NBA in total points scored, leads the NBA in points plus rebounds plus assists, leads his team in points per game, rebounds per game, and assists per game, would you say he deserves to? Where would you think he deserves to be ranked in terms of levels MVP? Like 1, 2, 3. Deserve to be in the conversation.
Well, I'm guessing this is Jason Tatum.
It is Jason Tatum. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, and I mean, no, I think Jason Tatum deserves to be in.
But he's
in the
probably
MVP
not
race.
going to because their team's too damn good.
Well, and the unfortunate part is you just read me a graphic showing, and if Jokic stays at this pace, where he's outdoing all those guys,
True.
It's, you know what I'm saying, like, and we talked about this earlier, didn't we? Where we said that all the stats.
But if he's averaging that a triple double, that's fine.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like Russell Westbrook averaging triple double should have probably won more.
Did you see that graphic where they said that the Nuggets' current roster has 10% of all the triple doubles in NBA history?
Yeah, Russell Westbrook and him, that's crazy. There was a stat. It was I think a week or two after our last podcast where. First quarter points leader was Jason Tatum. Second quarter point scorer was LaMelo. Third quarter points was Jason Tatum, and fourth quarter was LaMelo.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy that was the thing.
Dude, well, honestly, that's like in watching both teams, and I haven't watched the Celtics a lot, but it always seems like Jason Tatum comes out and he gets his rhythm going very early. To a point where
you can usually tell at the beginning of games what type of game he's going to have. Yeah. Is he going to have a 30-point game where he has to chuck up 30 shots, or is he going to have an efficient 30-point night with like 15 shots?
But either way, it seems like he is going early, and then y'all get to a point eventually towards the later part of the game where y'all just don't need him anymore. So
he hasn't played him. He's played in less the fourth quarters than he has not played.
LaMelo
has to.
One, he has to, and two, like. If you watch a Hornets game, LaMelo shoots a lot in the first quarter too. He just misses a lot, and then the second quarter comes around, and it seems like he gets he gets that action going again, and then usually, hopefully he's not in foul trouble, but usually he'll get in foul trouble in the second quarter. So he'll take a long break in the third quarter, which gets him where he's not as hot anymore, and then by the fourth quarter, he's doing all his fancy fadeaway jumpers and stuff like that. So it totally makes sense if you watch the teams play, like why that happens. But it also makes me excited because I like having a clutch guy, and if he's doing all this stuff in the fourth quarter, maybe he wins Kia Clutch Player of the Year. You
gotta have a winning record.
Yeah,
Gotta have.
We were so close. We were fifth in the East or fourth in the East for a few days.
Wait, didn't DeMar DeRozan? Who won Clutch Player last year? Was it Steph?
I don't remember.
I forgot who won Clutch Player of the Year last year. I actually think it was the team that didn't have a winning record.
It's about
like your clutch stats.
Like,
in the fourth quarter,
and the game actually has to be in clutch time too. Like
also funny stat.
Oh, we're out of the playoffs now. Last week we were like fourth in the East, and now we are out of the playoffs.
Also funny stat. This also shows how the game has drastically changed with the three-pointers. Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Jason Tatum have combined for more three-pointers than the Jazz, Wizards, Raptors, Kings, Nuggets, 76ers, Pacers, Pelicans, Lakers, Rockets, Trailblazers, Mavericks, Knicks, Heats, Hawks, and Grizzlies.
Hey, not us, though.
Not you. You got Charles Lee.
Yeah.
He's a Joe Mazzulla product. You're going to be chucking up threes.
Not us. We're shooting the ball.
Got to shoot the threes. But, I mean, this NBA season started off, in my opinion, really awesome. I freaking loved what was going on at the start of the season. The freaking Cavs haven't lost a game this year, which awesome. Evan Mobley took the step that he needed to take to like get the Cavs to a legit team. The Bucks, you kind of said it. I said I still believe the Bucks were the biggest threat to the Celtics before the season started, and you were like, you don't think the Dame Giannis thing, and I don't think it's Dame and Giannis. It's everybody else. Brook Lopez has passed his point. Bobby Portis might be the worst player in the league when you talk of like what they contribute to a team in the minutes that they get. Like he's probably not the worst player in the league, but like he has some of the worst. I follow a lot of Bucks fans on Twitter. He has some of the worst plus minuses on-off net rating for the Bucks is like awesome when he's off the court and one of the worst in the league when he's on the court. They tried to get Gary Trent Jr. on a cheap deal and thought he would work out. He hasn't worked out. There was a stat last night where Giannis, at the end of the first quarter or something, he had 20 points, and the rest of his team had 2 points at the end of the first quarter. It was Brook Lopez. And they are in the second apron this year. They are in the second apron, and they have a worse record than the Charlotte Hornets.
Yep. Hey, but also I was looking at some stats, and the Celtics and the Hornets are 1-2 when it comes to three-pointers attempted.
Joe Mazzulla ball.
You guys attempt 90.2 field goals per game. We do 90.3. Y'all just shoot better.
Yes.
Y'all literally just shoot 3% better than us, and it makes it and 2% better in three-pointers. And that's a difference of 14 points a game.
Basically, yeah. They have been the Cavs have been a nice surprise for undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks have been a crazy surprise in terms of how bad they are. The Knicks, the team people thought was going to just be completely different now. My call saying Cat makes them way worse defensively at the 5 because he's also played 4 for like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And he's also wasn't a great defender beforehand.
But maybe Mitchell Robinson comes in and helps out with that.
But what's the lineup look like? Who do you take out of the starting lineup currently to make it better? Or whose minutes are you taking away to make Mitchell Robinson play more to make the interior defense? Like that's Tom Thibodeau's got his work cut out for him because like do you split him and Cat like almost even minutes for the game? Do you put Cat at the 4 sometimes and put him at the 5? Where does Josh Hart play in all this? Is Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby? You're not taking Jalen Brunson out of the game. Who gets taken out of the game? Like that's their 6 best players. You obviously can't play 6, but I'd
say Mikal.
Mikal?
I'd take Mikal out and then have him as a strong 6-man. He gets a lot of minutes.
I don't know if a dude making however much he's making a shit ton of money.
But he's not playing great either.
He's not, but that's the like obviously Mikal Bridges is not Deshaun Watson. I'm not going to say that. But in the same sense, I feel like in some way organizations are like, hey, we're paying this guy money and we're not paying Mitchell Robinson. We're even close to what Mikal Bridges is paying. But so Tom Thibodeau make it work. But I mean, yeah, if you had to pick a dude based off of performance wise, yeah, Mikal Bridges got to probably get off the bench or come off the bench. But also, I don't know. It's just what's the record?
Who?
The Knicks.
Right. The Knicks, they are 5-6, fourth in the East. They have a plus 3.6, plus minus.
Plus minus.
Yep.
I mean, that's just, and the Pacers kind of seem like they took a step back. I was expecting a lot out of them this year, and they've kind of been a little disappointing to me. But there's obviously most teams that aren't named the Cavs or the Celtics in the East are a little bit underwhelming because everyone's negative.
Bro, and the Magic
Injuries.
But they're third in the East right now.
They actually have a winning record.
They have a winning record. That's what I'm saying.
They
Like,
got a winning record.
they're playing well without Banchero.
They got a
And
deep. They got
Franz
a nice
Wagner is having his moments where now,
He's really
like,
good.
this might help it where now you have two guys that are confident enough to be the guy.
They're taking. I'm not saying the Celtics like laid out a blueprint for this, but in a way they're playing. They have a Celtics type build to their team where their two best players are wing players that are also both very solid two-way players. I'm not going to say they're elite like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are in terms on the defensive end, but they're two very good, definitely offensive players, and they're both not liabilities on defense. And I think that's a beautiful formula moving forward in the NBA because you want taller, more athletic, longer players that can play both sides of the ball, and they have a beautiful formula for that. And now, currently, a deep team where they, one of them goes down, they can survive.
Cole Anthony's only getting 11 minutes a game.
Jalen Suggs.
After last year, I feel like he was going to get a boost.
You thought? No,
well,
Jalen Suggs took a major step last year.
But
too.
so did Cole Anthony. I felt like was averaging. Let's see how much he was averaging last year because I feel like he had a great year last year.
I was surprised Markelle Fultz.
He was only averaging. I thought he did better. He was averaging 11.6. So
they also have an Anthony Black, the guy they're really high on,
and
like
he's big and he can play defense and
yep,
yeah.
But surprise out well Lakers. I mean, I don't know if you've watched many Lakers games, but I've been really excited as a Celtics fan. I hope there's not actual other Celtics fans watching this podcast because I'm not a normal Celtics fan. I don't mind the Lakers.
Boo. Boo him, Celtics fans.
I wasn't born in Boston.
You're supposed to hate the Lakers. Not a true fan.
I probably would if they didn't have LeBron, but I love LeBron, and I also love J.J. Redick.
Boo, hate LeBron for going there. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what a true Boston fan would do. Fuck
I did
LeBron.
hate him when they won a 17th, and I was like, oh, man, we might not win an 18th before they win an 18th, but now it's very clear that they're probably not going to win an 18th.
Yeah, no, you fucked up, Lakers. You only got one championship out of it.
But J.J. Redick, they kind of came down to earth. They had some crazy, first 3 games, they were 3-0. Everyone's like, wow. Then they lost 3 straight. Now they're 7-4. I really like, they're playing completely different. One thing, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but what Darvin Ham and other coaches did wrong in the LeBron James / Anthony Davis era in LA is LeBron was still the number one guy. This man is almost 40 years old. He should not be your number one option. But J.J. Redick has made it a point of emphasis. Anthony Davis is that guy. He is the number one option, and I think that is a great testament as to why LeBron James just dropped 3 straight triple-doubles at the age of 39 years old. Because he does not have the offensive load that he was burdened with the last few years that Anthony Davis, when healthy, can easily take a hold of. It creates so much more fluent offense for them.
Anthony Davis is only shooting about 1.5 more shots a game than LeBron James.
But he's not even. It's not about the shots. It's about where he's the one getting the ball and they're playing through him through the post. It's not about the shot attempts. It's about how the offense is being ran. Before it was LeBron James pick and roll, LeBron James drive and kick. Now it's LeBron James, not even LeBron James. A lot of time Austin Reeves is taking it up. Obviously D'Angelo Russell's taking it up. But they are letting Anthony Davis touch it and work from there. Anthony Davis touches it. They run a set. Sometimes it ends with Anthony Davis scoring. Sometimes it ends with someone else scoring. But just allowing Anthony Davis to be the focal point of the offense is the main thing that I'm talking about. Because I've probably watched almost as many Lakers games as I have.
What if I told you that Cam Reddish was the most efficient scorer on the Lakers?
3-point scorer probably as well.
Just scoring efficiency in general.
He hasn't played. I would say he's played a lot.
Yeah, but and do you want to know who the worst on the Lakers is?
Probably Anthony Davis.
Nope. Bronny James.
Oh, wow. Man's played, 7 minutes?
He's the worst, and he's the worst one.
7 minutes.
He's
7
the
minutes.
worst one by a long shot.
7
by a long shot, Roman.
7. He's maybe played 2 minutes in one game. That's the most. So
actually, it's not by a long shot. Vincent is also very, very
Gabe
bad.
Vincent, yeah, Gabe Vincent's bad.
Yeah, he's very bad, but his shooting efficiency is a little bit better than Bronny's.
Yeah, he's played way more minutes than Bronny has. Bronny's also taken like maybe 3-4 shots the whole game.
He takes a shot a game. He attempts a shot a game.
He attempts
Takes
a shot a
0.2.
game. He's made one basket, I
Yeah,
think.
make more baskets, Bronny.
He's played 7 minutes, Skyler. Come on, man.
No, he hasn't. He's played 6 games and he averages 2.7 minutes. He's played 13 minutes, Roman. He's played double the time that you just credited him for.
6 games, 2.7 minutes a game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, 13 minutes.
Yeah.
4 more minutes. Game changer.
Yeah.
Great segue
Bronny.
for my least favorite topic.
What? How the Lakers are failing Bronny as a player in his development?
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening. Because
Yeah.
they don't send him to away games for the G League that he's playing for, and
Yeah.
it just seems more and more like this was just a bit for LeBron, and like they
More and
actually
more.
don't care about him being a good player. And maybe it was best for Bronny just to stay in college and develop his own game and his own brand of basketball, and maybe still make money going to UCLA or something. There's other colleges that he could make money in LA.
We're in year 1. I understand. The away game is the biggest, gigantic takeaway you can have for this. Yes. Why he's not playing away games, it's definitely not him saying it because he doesn't have any power to say that shit.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's decision.
I think
that's
this
not
fits
his.
his Face Clan schedule better.
No. See, the away games is the biggest thing, but it's not abnormal for G League players to move back and forth and miss G League games to be on the bench for an NBA game that they're not going to play in. It's not abnormal. It definitely is abnormal for them not to play in away games. Why the organization feels that way, I don't know. If he does this the entire season, that's a major red flag, and I will jump to your side. If he does not play a single away game for the G League this year, I'm on your side. He's.
I wonder if he's just bad in all the home games. So like he clearly needs like more time to develop, and they're just like taking away.
Even
good
worse,
develop-
yeah.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
he's
Like,
not getting away
Yeah.
games, yeah. I mean, I would probably credit it to he can't have a freaking rhythm because he's not.
I mean, that's true
He's
too.
not playing home and away games. He's not like if they have especially if they go on like 5 stint like away games, like that's 5 games in a row he's not playing in.
Or should we show his G League stats?
You probably find him somewhere. I think he's only played in 1 G League game.
Yeah, they show us pro stuff.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know. But I know this is something LeBron James writers are gonna say, but Bronny James is some motivation for him. You don't think LeBron? I don't know how many Lakers games you've watched, but you don't think LeBron's playing a little different this year, like in terms of like how he's moving, how he's acting. He's playing with a little more enthusiasm, a little bit more happiness, joy, pep in his step.
And this is exactly why
I'm just saying.
the Lakers drafted Bronny at
Not
55.
exactly why, but
This is it.
definitely-
It was for LeBron. It was for LeBron to feel good. It was for.
And is that so wrong? Is it?
Sort of.
And why?
Because you said that they drafted Bronny because he was a good player.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm not saying
Not
that's
a
the
pick-me-up
sole
for-
reason. I'm not saying.
I
I'm not
am.
saying that's the sole reason. But is it a bad thing if it's part of the reason? Because I mean, what? I don't know.
No, it can't be because you earlier when I was saying this was the reason why it was
not.
it's not the reason
It's
why.
not. But it's part.
Bronny's
I've
gonna
never
be a
denied
player that helps them.
I have never denied that it was not part of the reason. You think it's the only reason.
It
I
is
don't
the
think
only
it's the only
reason.
reason.
That-
I don't think he's going to help them in the next 3 years, but I think eventually he'll help.
I don't think he'll ever help him ever. That's why they're not wasting
he'll
the
help a
gas.
different team.
They said we're not going to waste the gas on you on our
The
plane,
gas,
bro.
They're already wasting the gas.
Yeah, but adding a little bit more weight on there
bit
adds a
more
little
weight.
bit more gas.
Because I think if he makes if he's on the G League roster and somebody else isn't on the roster, so it's probably the same amount of gas.
They're saving gas somehow. This
They're
is a
saving
gas
gas
move. Yeah,
somehow. It's a
yeah,
gas move.
yeah. They are broke as hell over there, Lakers Nation.
South Bay Lakers
Yeah.
broke his hell.
No, just Jeannie Buss in general. Just
I mean, yeah,
the
she's
Buss
broke
family.
They're a product of a line that's only like known like a billionaire family because of the Lakers. Like they're not
Yeah.
like most other owners that have a business from
Yeah.
aside from like this is their business. If they're not,
Yeah,
they're in a bad spot. This is also why the Celtics owners are looking to get out because they don't own TD Garden, so they're renting TD Garden.
Yeah.
And also now that they're about to pay like $500 million in taxes this next season because of how much we're paying everybody.
Like, and
Also, Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year right now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 6. He's got to be
if the Hornets were better, Trey Mann would be definitely
in the top 2. He definitely would be top
Yeah.
1 because Peyton Pritchard's averaging like 18 points a
Is
game
he?
or something
Damn,
off
yeah,
the
they're
bench.
balling.
Insanely efficient off the bench. Like he is. He's taken all those half-court heaves from last year and he's moving them to the half-court.
He said, "I'm done with that.
No, he still does it.
My teammate grade's not going down anymore, coach."
There was one of the games. It was like 0.1 seconds left, and the Celtics had the ball, and like Peyton Pritchard got it from the bench, like ready to check in, and Joe was like, "Sit down." Like, but Peyton was like ready. He was like expecting to go in, but Joe was like, "Nah, not today.
Not today, buddy." But yeah, basketball's fun.
Can't wait for the rest of the season for both. I mean,
Yeah, the Hornets are out of the cup pretty much already. We got blown out by the Magic, so we probably won't
go
advance.
3-1. You never know.
But then there's the point differential, and
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to get out of that point differential.
that's fair. That's fair.
And then you guys lost. You have a much better chance of getting back into it, but you lost the first one, which isn't great.
We're going for an NBA championship,
And it was home. That was one of your home ones too.
We don't give a damn about no NBA Cup. That's NBA championship we're after. No, give it like 5 years and maybe people will actually give a fuck about it.
They need to give a fuck about it now.
But everybody on the Celtics is like making way too much money, so none of them care about $500,000.
But
I'm sure they care,
but I think the league. I'm sure the league sends out like, "Hey, we need this to be popular," because the league wants.
I'm sure.
The league needs it to be popular, so this matters.
But if the Celtics lose the games, I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, that's true.
It sucks. Maybe.
But also,
give us some easier
honestly, I
teams
think
to
it's
hop.
best that the Celtics.
Don't. I think
Yeah.
it's better if bad teams make it.
I think, to give their
you
fan
show-
base.
Yeah, you also show like casual NBA fans, hey, just because like these other teams are
You
really
root for a team that might
fucking
win
good-
something.
Yeah, or like the NBA is so fucking good. Even these bad teams can have exciting games
Yeah.
if you make it mean something. Like
Yeah.
they try every game, but they're just worse than the other team.
Yeah.
But you get them these single eliminations,
Yep.
anything can happen. Any team can win any game. I think the Pacers were a great team to make it to the finals last year.
Yeah.
Because they were like a team you didn't really expect, but they were a high-powered offense that beat the Celtics and the Bucks to get there.
Yep.
So like really good thing to look at. But yeah, I'm hoping like a team maybe with like a negative record makes the quarterfinals and then like makes it to like maybe the semis or even the finals, or just a team you don't expect.
Like honestly, like a team like Detroit.
Yeah, the Detroit has actually been playing pretty fun back. Cade Cunningham,
But
baller.
yeah, he's been playing good.
Baller. Straight baller. Like, oh my gosh.
And they're-
I can't
and they're-
believe
and
they
they're a
wasted,
tough team.
3 years.
And I feel like they're a tough team. They play good defense.
They're
so.
a really young team too, except for Tobias Harris, who they got.
Who fuck Tobias Harris, bro? I needed him to make. I had Detroit winning a parlay for me the other day, and there was a close game, and Tobias Harris goes up to the line with like 2 seconds left, and he can tie it, and he misses fucking both
missed
of them.
both of them?
He misses both of them, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, he fucking sucked. I was like, oh, like, you fuck.
Tobias Harris. Good old Tobias Harris. 76ers fans, shout out. Right, Braden? Shout out Tobias Harris. But yeah, that's a little bit longer than normal, but we'll talk about some other things right now. We were gone for 3 weeks.
Gone away.
I had a wedding. One of my best friends, Braden, I was a groomsman for the wedding. It was a great time. Week in Pensacola Beach, Florida. Address is, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But super fun time. His like going into this, I don't think I told Braden this, but like we were like wondering what we were gonna do, and he was like, "Oh, honestly, we're just gonna like go to the beach, chill, and then like go to dinner." And I was like, "It's probably gonna be a kind of boring trip, but dude, it was so much fun. Like so much fun, just chilling on the beach and went out to eat and walking the pier, and then the wedding was awesome. I mean,
Wow.
just everyone having
Love
fun.
was in the air.
I cried like.
Wow, what a loser.
I know. I love them though. Love you, Braden. Love you, Sid. And then you went on a cruise, right?
Yeah, no, I sailed the 7 seas
Sailed the 7 seas.
of the Caribbean. But yeah, I went down to the Bahamas on a Disney cruise. It was very relaxing, very cool. There was some rough waters the first night because
You get seasick?
a little bit. There was a hurricane on the other side of like Cuba and stuff like that, so it was making like our waters like a little choppy. Yep, but it wasn't that bad, but then there was that one thing that happened where me and my girlfriend and the kids were hanging out top deck by the pool. Then they were doing like a Mickey show and everything was going cool. And then all of a sudden Captain Hook shows up and he says, "This ship is mine." And everybody was like, oh boy, now we got to deal with some pirates. So the pirates start taking over. But luckily, Mickey and the gang danced better than Captain Hook. We also did some pirate chants to help out. Captain Hook said, "Hey, the ship's y'all's. I'm getting out of here." He ran away, and it was smooth sails after that.
Wow.
Yes, but it was a little crazy there for a second. I thought, "Am I about to become a pirate?" Because I'd be down. I'd be down. Like it was right after election day, so I was down to just stay on the seven seas.
But yeah, it was a nice, relaxing time for both of us. It seems to get away.
Yep.
Not talk to all you guys anymore. But while we were away, we got a new list. We got some new listeners.
New listener alert.
Braden's little brother, Griffin. And
my man Griff.
My favorite dad that's not mine, Jeff.
Hey Jeff, I never met you, but
MJ's not the goat. I'm so sorry. But apparently Griffin started listening to us, and then they went down to the last Chiefs game, and Griffin made Jeff listen to our podcast on
hey,
the
well, thanks for the forced listens there, Griff.
Yeah,
you're a true G, except for the fact that I heard that y'all like Duke.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you that's awful.
North Carolina fan here.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in North Carolina. Have y'all even been to Carolina? Have you ever come to this state before?
No. Jeff told me he's been to a game.
No. I mean, but like, out of the teams, why'd you pick Duke? Their blue's shittier. It's much worse blue. And Coach K, he was just a little weasel man. He was just a little weasel man for 40 years there. Like, but I'm glad to hear y'all listening.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit of Duke. We'll trash Duke a couple times.
Hey, I actually bet for Duke the other day. I bet that they were going to win and that Cooper Flag was going to go off. Cooper Flag did go off, but they didn't win.
Yeah.
So,
best of both worlds.
Dude, $10 to pay. I pay $10 for Duke to lose, and I think I will do that every single game this year.
You also didn't talk about the thing you said we were going to talk about first off on the freaking
You
list.
skipped it.
I forgot, but you have the list right there. You got to hold me accountable, man.
We skipped it, but, we did have a game, a very important game.
KU versus North Carolina. For those of you that don't know, KU fan here, North Carolina fan over there.
Yeah. It was, and it started off real shaky. I watched the whole game. I don't think you watched the game.
I did not. I couldn't get a freaking my completely illegal stream.
Yeah, his cable was down.
Yeah, my cable.
But luckily, my cable wasn't down.
Yeah,
and I watched it, and boy, let me tell you, as a Carolina fan, it was a lot of emotions.
Rematch of 2022 national championship game, by the way.
Luckily, all the floorboards were okay. But let me tell you something that I didn't like. What was going on is there was a shot clock issue that kept happening, but it would only happen after Carolina would get a defensive rebound and we were running. All of a sudden, the shot clock would go off on our side, so the refs would have to stop the play. Oh, dude, it happened. It happened like 2 or 3 times early in the game, and like that's when y'all started really getting your momentum, and we couldn't get shit going. And like not to be like y'all were doing that on purpose, but it was just like, of course.
Allen Fieldhouse, right?
Yeah, of course there's something that's going on here.
Opposing side shot clock.
Beware the fog or whatever.
Beware the fog.
Yeah, and the combination of listening to all the Kansas fans and then listen to Jay Bayless. I hate
Jay Billis.
Yeah, sorry, not Jay. Yeah, Jay Billis.
He's doing NBA games now. Did you know that? I love Jay Billis personally.
So,
That's me. Though.
I don't like listening to him for college stuff because. Anytime there is,
he's a Duke guy.
He's a Duke guy, so he always hypes up Duke. And anytime he does a Carolina game, you can tell that he wants us to lose. Yeah. So like, he always is talking great about the other team and how, he's
been doing a lot of games for ESPN and.
I think they're firing a bunch of people, so I think they're spreading their talent out.
I never thought like I'd ever hear him call a game, but it's cool to hear him.
Y'all got up by 20 at one point. I figured it was over, but then we came storming back the second half. We tightened up our defense. We started coming back with some of the young guys scoring. RJ Davis had an awful day. He shot like 1 of 8 from 3. So like he hits the shots that he usually hits. I'm feeling pretty good about it. It came down to a buzzer beater 3 that Elliot Cadeau shot. He probably wasn't the guy who should have shot it, but he is. We lose, and I feel good about it. Being down 20 to come back to needing a buzzer beater and being in the lead in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Crazy
especially
fact.
with being at your place.
Yeah. Crazy fact about KU. 100+ years of the program's existence. We've had 8 coaches. That's kind of crazy, ain't it? Not even double digit over 100 years. Really crazy. But now that we talked about that outside, we're playing some Black Ops right now, right?
Playing Black Ops, baby.
Zombies. I'm trying to go for the freaking Nebula camo for zombies because I love zombies so much. I've already got 4 guns gold, so I'm on my way. 28 more to go.
I just go out there and kill zombies. I'm not even trying to get camos. I'm just
I
out there
am.
for the love of zombies.
Which
And
is
we're
great
doing
zombies so
the
far.
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
They just fixed some stuff. They added power to certain guns, took away some power from certain guns. But hey, it's a great time. We're still
Great time.
2K-ing. We
Still
play.
2K in.
I had a sweet game winner the other night with a Jokic step back. It was beautiful, everybody.
beautiful.
And it was definitely not on a computer. It was definitely on a real player.
I forgot about that, dude. I totally forgot about that. If you'd never said anything, I forgot. Yeah, and then Marvel Rivals, a game that I'm anticipating, comes out in about a month.
Boo.
Me, Braden, and my boy Levi. Levi's legendary locks, long leg locks of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be posting those to Twitter. He did give them to me, but since we're near the end of the podcast, I don't want to say them now. But I'll post them on Twitter/X, and you'll see his locks of the week. You want to follow him? Go ahead. If
We
not,
do it tonight?
yeah, I'll post them right.
Does he have a Thursday night game lock?
I don't. I think so. When we were in Florida, all of his he got like the 2 Thursday night games wrong in a row, and he was like I should just be done with Thursday night games because then it ruins his whole thing. Let me see. Sunday. All Sunday games. Yep, these will be posted on Twitter Thursday night before Thursday night game, but it's not a Thursday night game on the parlay, so it's a 13-legger, I believe. So
Big boy.
keep an eye out that for his, and then if Scooter's got anything, we'll post that on Twitter too. We'll start posting more of our bets on Twitter. I've been inactive on the Twitter account, but now that we're back, we'll be active again and going at it. Yeah, me and Scooter work again together. This is how we met. If you guys didn't know, little backstory: like we worked together for the first time. Somebody told him that I played 2K and that we could play 2K together, and he goes, "Fuck Roman," he doesn't know me. And now look at us now. We're doing a podcast
Roman.
together. We're working together
And I'll
again.
still say it again. Fuck Roman.
For the record, we'll probably record all the podcasts on Thursdays, probably for the most part.
We'll see.
Just plan on Thursday night / maybe Friday release.
Maybe Friday morning,
Yeah. So just moving forward now that our schedules kind of maybe conflict sometimes as we're working in the same place. Just keep an eye out for that. But happy to be back talking sports. Hope you enjoy this little extra long one this time for us being gone a little bit. Hopefully we covered stuff. Let us know what you think about our little what-if scenario. What are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? Let us know about the Carolina Panthers, the Chiefs, the Celtics, the Hornets,
or
the
your team.
Jayhawks, the Carolina Panthers,
or just your team,
or your shitty teams that aren't as good as ours.
No, I mean your teams are probably better than mine.
Probably better than his.
Yeah,
bar setting low there, bar setting high here, so probably in between. But yeah, love y'all. Bye.
Bye.